Ho ho ho, Internet! Welcome to the Troyan YouTube channel. I am Troyan, and it is a very special day today. It is Thin Lizzy Thursday. It also happens to be Christmas Eve. So we're gonna do a special Thin Lizzy Thursday for all you folks at home. What are we reacting to? Oh man, we are reacting to the Greedies, aka the Greedy Bastards, which is basically a supergroup of Phil Lynott, some members of Thin Lizzy, and like a bunch of punk musicians from bands like The Damned and the Sex Pistols. And I guess it was just sort of like a loose music collective that played some gigs and recorded a one off Christmas single. Um, the song title of the single is A Merry Jingle. Um, and so this is a song I've maybe listened to once and don't really remember it, but it is a Thin Lizzy Christmas song because it's got, Phil and other Thin Lizzy members. I don't know who in particular is playing on the track. Um, and like I said, I've maybe heard it once. Um, so this is going to be about as good of a or as fresh of a reaction as you can get. Where I haven't listened to this except for maybe like once as a curiosity, haven't gone back to it. Um, so it's going to be a fresh, authentic Christmas reaction for you. So you know what? Let's get right into it and see what the Greedies have to offer. So this is a Merry Jingle by the Greedies, which is Phil Lynott plus Thin Lizzy members and punk musicians. So yeah, let's do it.
Wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
All right, so musically, this is actually better than I remembered it being, and that this is obviously it's sort of like it's a gimmick track. It's sort of just meant to be just like banging out the song, having fun. Lyrically, it's just taking let's see, look at the lyrics here. Yeah, they're just taking different Christmas carols and then just making those be the lyrics for the track. Musically, it definitely has a sort of a punk pulse to it. But Phil Lynott is still given a traditional Phil Lynott vocal where it's still his usual level of melodic, where it's like kind of talk singing, but not just full on just talking. So somewhere in between talking and singing, that it's the same general vocal range that Phil generally occupies, same level of melody. Um, but it does have some, sort of tasty Lizzie esque guitars, in between the verses, choruses, whatever you call it. So there's still so the guitar playing is a little bit more tasty than you get with punk bands of that era. Pardon me for the cough. Full disclosure, I don't like the Sex Pistols. I don't particularly care for their music. But I do enjoy punk bands like Ramones and Dead Boys and Minor Threat. So I'm not like anti-punk necessarily. Um, but I do admit I do have some biases against the Sex Pistols because I thought they were more style over substance, in my opinion, and I just was never really impressed by them. But I think looking back on, I'm probably being too harsh on the band. If I were to go and revisit them today, I'd probably be more favorable towards them. But yeah, I mean, this is it's a fun little Christmas rock song. It's not necessarily setting the world on fire, but it's fun. Let's rewind a hair, get back to it.
Jingle bells, jingle jangle, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
that's a nice, gang vocal shout. That was something that was really, really great about punk is that gang vocals, just getting the crowd to shout something. That's freaking rad. Pardon the coughing. All right, let's get back to it. Yeah, so that was a really good vocal build right there, and then a good instrumental build after that. Good stuff. Yeah, that vocal part is really, really good. All right, so there you go. So that is the Greedies, or the Greedy Bastards, depending on what you prefer. I guess they wanted to be called the Greedy Bastards originally, but then the BBC wouldn't allow it, so they went by the Greedies. Um, yeah, so I would say it's a fun little banger, but I'm not sure this is necessarily one of my go-to like Christmas classics. Or even classic Christmas rock songs. Like I'm thinking of like what's coming to mind is Wizards. I wish it could be Christmas every day. Stone Cold classic Christmas rock song. Um, All I Want by Styx is really great. Um, Christmas is the Time to Say I Love You by Billy Squire. So there's a lot of Christmas rock songs that I love that are in rotation. Around my house we play the Twisted Sister Christmas album every year. Um, so it's not, and I love Christmas music, and obviously I love Thin Lizzy. Um, this song, I guess, I think I've been too harsh on it in the past because of just like the association with the Sex Pistols. And the thing is, Phil Lynott, like he associates himself with a wide array of musicians. I mean, Huey Lewis, is a guy who's played with Phil Lynott on multiple occasions. Mark Knopfler, who I'm also not necessarily a fan of his guitar style, Phil has played a lot with. Like Lemmy from Motorhead, Phil has played with. And so you have like this spectrum of musicians where, if you want to connect Huey Lewis to the Sex Pistols, Phil is that glue in the middle. And it goes to show you like what an open-minded guy he was and how he could make friends in just a variety of places and just get along with the punk kids, and people who are just considered like mainstream and boring, even though at the time Huey Lewis isn't. I don't think he's boring. um, but at the time he was a little bit more underground. But the idea is that different musical styles, he could get along with those people and fit in comfortably. um, and so that is really cool. And it makes me realize, I should probably go back and revisit, the Sex Pistols. And like I said, they're the only like of that '70s punk bands I really like, kind of even have beef with. Um, but yeah, this was cool. Uh, but not sure it's one of my go-to Christmas classics. As much as I love Thin Lizzy and Thin Lizzy Thursday, um, aside from like some cool guitar and a really cool like vocal build. It's just kind of just a standard. It's the kind of thing that's fun but not essential. And so like my life isn't um any more fulfilled by having this in it, but it's not like, oh, this is trash, turn it off. It's just like it's good, it's fun, it's, I'd say, a solid B. It's not trying to be a masterpiece. It's just, the boys, banging out something, having fun. And, you can't knock someone just having fun playing music. So, you know what? That's a thumbs up from me. So let me know what you guys thought of this one in the comments below. I hope you all have a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year, all that good stuff. It's 'tis the season to celebrate all the holidays. Um, so just wishing everyone the best, and have a good one. And see you for the next Thin Lizzy Thursday. Bye, everyone.